Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Success Catalyst. I'm Nina Robert, and I'm incredibly excited about today's show. My guest today is a very inspiring mindset coach and a business strategist. Niamh Dee is now located in Geneva, and she helps online coaches grow their businesses. Welcome to the podcast, Niamh. I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us more about what you do.
Oh, thank you, Nina. I'm delighted to be here and to share my story. So yeah, I'm the founder of the Fired Up Coaching Academy, which is a year-long academy where I coach coaches. And I also have a membership program that's it's got lots and lots of different content, all related to personal growth. It's everything that I've learned, everything that has gotten me here, from mindset mastery, money mastery, positivity, creating an alter ego, so many different topics. And and then I work with clients privately as well. Yeah.
These are subjects that are really, really crucial to be understood and learned by business coaches all over the world. So I guess everyone would be intrigued to learn more. So can you tell us more about how you ended up doing what you do today?
Yeah, so I arrived in Geneva in 1993. It was a dream that started in an Irish pub when I was 16 years old. I was with my father and somebody, it was Christmas, and this gorgeous girl walked in the door and everybody was clapping. And I said, "What's going on?" And they said, "Oh, she's back home from Geneva. She works for the United Nations." I thought, wow, I want to do that. I want people to clap for me. No, I was excited about the adventure, and I love travel. Even, from the age of 15, I went to France to visit my pen pal. When we used to write letters. And so I went when I was 21. After my studies finished, I went and I got a 3-month contract with the ILO, International Labour Organization. Then I worked with the World Health Organization. I worked with UNAIDS, and then for UNHCR, High Commission for Refugees, until 2006. That was my UN days. I was a trainer at the UN. I worked in tech support, and but I thought it was to continue my my path at the UN. I got a master's in education when my children were, I think, like 5 years and under. And when I was doing that master's, I had to do some practical work with children, which I absolutely loved. And I noticed that I enjoyed it a lot more than my work at the UN. And I felt really fired up about that work. So I took the brave decision. I knew I was an entrepreneur at heart as well, I think. And I took the decision to start a company called Love to Learn, working with children with dyslexia and neurodivergent children and some adults. And when I was doing that, I discovered something called the work of Byron Katie, which was my first introduction to personal growth, really. And I loved it. The work of Byron Katie is a powerful process where you identify your stressful beliefs and you question them using a very structured, simple process, but it really works. So I started training in that. Then I hired a coach for myself. And I remember her talking about possibility, what's possible. And I was so excited about that. So that's how I then started to take more coach trainings and launched into coaching. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
That's impressive. I love that story. And I think I always believe, I'm a strong believer that every success starts with a challenge or a pivotal moment, or when we fall in love with the idea. This for you was Byron Katie's work, and you saw it work, and then you ended up deciding that this is your purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually saw it work through. I met a friend for lunch, and she'd been going through a tragedy happened in her life, and she was betrayed deeply. And I remember asking her, "What's her secret?" She was handling it so well. And, there was no trace of victimhood. And we know as coaches that, if you want to stay weak, you stay in victim mode. And I was just really intrigued by her ability to speak so courageously and with no bitterness. And so she said, "It's this thing called the work." And so I went online and discovered it and became hooked. I thought, wow. And then I tried it out for myself, and I thought, this could actually change my life. Before I felt really stuck with, I remember trying to let go of something. I was upset with somebody, and my sister saying, "You've just let it go." And I distinctly remember saying, but I don't know how. How do I let it go? I want to let it go, and I just couldn't. I didn't know how. And then I learned through the work of Byron Katie how to, and discovered a freedom, and discovered that freedom is on the inside, not outside of me. And that was so exciting for me to make that discovery and realize that I just have to shift perspective, to question my thoughts, and I'm going to feel lighter. And yeah, I'm so passionate about that, because people suffer unnecessarily. If I hadn't discovered that or taken this path, I'd still be in suffering, basically.
That reminds me what my mentor Bob Proctor always said, that the only problem in the world is ignorance and the lack of awareness.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
Absolutely, 100% agree. And I find it sad that I actually just shared a quick live stream before going live, Nina, because, just with a message for people that you don't have to suffer. You don't, there's so much support available and so much to learn, and, give yourself that. But interestingly, I'm very passionate about Dr. Joe Dispenza's work.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered through his work that we're actually chemically addicted to our suffering, which makes total sense. The neural pathways are formed and they emit certain chemicals. So and this is why people stay in relationships or jobs or situations that they shouldn't, because they're addicted to that struggle. And it really requires a lot of work to overcome that. Or something painful, really painful happens, which can be a real gift, because it's like, okay, I can't tolerate that anymore. But yeah, absolutely. I agree with Bob Proctor saying.
I've noticed that in many people, when I'm talking to a person about a situation that they're not comfortable with, and I give them like possible solutions or options that they can choose from to get away from that situation, it's as if they're not satisfied with being in some place where they cannot complain. We are addicted to complaining and to suffering, I guess. And being outside of that comfort zone is actually boring.
Absolutely. And that's why we self-sabotage, because we need a hit, we need that hit of the chemical that we're so used to. So awareness, again, when you're aware of that and you go, oh, okay, I'm just doing that thing I do again, and the reason, if you understand the reason why, the chemical addiction to it, then it's awareness is the first step to transformation. So
makes things much easier when we are aware of what our brain is doing, or the messages that we're sending subconsciously to our mind.
Absolutely.
Who do you work with at the moment? Who are your clients?
So my main clients are typically women, but not all women. I work with men too, but women that want to get to financial freedom, women who want to grow. And what I'm most passionate about, Nina, I think, is the courageous side, to bravely step up, to just do it, to take the leap and not stay stuck. And action brings traction. And so the way to get out of stuckness is to take action, to move forward bravely. And I love to help to hold the hand of a client that's scared to do something, but they do it. There's a great victory in it, and they realize, wow, the fear was worse than actually doing it. So that's what I'm passionate about. But yeah, helping them to get to financial freedom, to get to that level of empowerment, and to figure out what their blind spots are. Because if they're here and they want to get there, and it's, there's a gap in between, and let's figure out what's in the gap and let's close the gap. That's how it works.
Well, I guess that's very important, even and especially when we are coaches, because most of the time we think we are a coach now, so we are supposed to know exactly how to get from where we are to where we want to be. Just because we're helping others do that does not mean we can help ourselves do that, because we can only think from our perspective, from our paradigm. We can see outside someone else's paradigm. We can help our clients maybe get from where they are to where they want to go, but not necessarily know the exact path for ourselves. And this is why I believe it's crucial for every coach to have a mentor or a coach in different areas. Could be business, mindset, or any other thing.
Totally. I completely agree. I mean, we're on a growth journey, so we've got to walk our talk and continuously challenge yourself. I love Neil Donald Walsh says life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So I love to be challenged. I mean, not to the extent where your nervous system goes crazy, but, that you feel proud of yourself, that you feel like, I'm, as you know, Nina, I'm like you, very passionate about strength training. And And I do that because it requires discipline and it's, pushing yourself beyond your limits. So I really believe that we're here to do that. We're here to push ourselves beyond our limits, to tap into that infinite potential. There's no limit on it. The more we tap into it, the more we get to experience of ourselves. And I think it's a real pity if we don't do that. If I had stayed at the UN, if I thought, oh no, it's called the golden cage actually, because it's a great salary and tax free. So many people stay for the safety, which I understand and I respect. And at the same time, if I had stayed there, I would have felt soul destroyed. I remember one day in the car park, I was going to work and somebody passed me by in her car and she came in and she said, "You look miserable coming in this morning." And I was, I was really, I was not fired up. Let's put it that way. I was not lit up. And I love the creative part that comes with our work, that we get to choose, we get to make our own decisions, etc. There's challenging parts of being an entrepreneur. You don't have that, the safety and security. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I get to tap into a part of myself that I never would have if I had stayed at the UN.
Oh, I completely understand. I wouldn't trade it for anything either myself, because I've been in the same situation. I was in a job that I loved, that is stable and easy and really, really comfortable, but still there was no spark. I was not in love with the idea of me being just an employee and following someone else's dream anymore. So
Right.
yeah, I agree. It's risky, it's tiring, it's uncomfortable, but it's thrilling, and you have
Yeah.
that sense of fulfillment that's not obvious to reach outside if you're not pursuing your own dream, your own goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love the challenge. And what I love as well is, every day is a new opportunity to, for something great to happen. And, it's such a mindset game as well, because
Mhm.
you gotta keep strong and really work on yourself because, again, because of the uncertainty, it can be easy to, get scared and you can't get scared, right? So there's a lot of management of yourself. Yeah.
One thing I learned to do a few years ago, and I love to do, and I love it, it's part of my daily routine or weekly routine. I try to do something outside of my comfort zone, something that would make me feel uncomfortable or something scary, at least every week, every day if I can. It's not obvious to find something scary to do every day,
Yeah.
but it could be anything. Could be trying a new challenge at the gym. Could be
Mhm.
cutting off sugar for a week or so. Could be traveling to a distant place where nobody speaks English. Could be really anything. But you have to learn to stay comfortable being uncomfortable.
Totally. Yeah, I love that. That's
Yeah.
a great idea. I started a challenge, a really uncomfortable challenge. It didn't last very long, but I loved the idea of it. It was called the saying no challenge, or getting a no.
Oh, yeah.
It was quite famous a few years ago. There
I
was a
heard
guy
about
who
it.
he shared
Yeah.
these great videos, and the objective was to get a no every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a really good one to do as well. I should get back to it.
I think
It's very much
saying
outside of your
no,
comfort zone.
especially for a female entrepreneur, is not obvious at all. We were not taught to say no. And many of
Yeah.
us are people pleasers, especially coaches and women in business. We want to get things done. So we don't want
Mm.
anybody to be angry at us. But so we end up saying yes to things that are not to our advantage. Talking about mindset, money mindset is, I think, something very challenging and one of the main things that we should learn as coaches and as people in business in general. So, can you tell us more about your opinion
Mm.
about money mindset?
Totally. I love that topic. It's super important because, yeah, I think typically healers and coaches get into this business because of passion for helping people. But you've got to be a business person as well. It's not enough to be good at your craft. You've got to be good at sales, be good at marketing. And it's really important to take responsibility for that and learn it, because otherwise you're not going to be able to impact as many people and to reach as many people as possible. And, people fear charging high rates for their work and not valuing their work. And that can be rooted in, what I help them to see is, what are the beliefs behind that? I love to help clients to charge and attract high ticket clients, premium clients that that because to sustain your business you need to work with high ticket clients, but they might say, oh, they will judge me, they'll think I'm greedy, and then they might even have some more deep rooted beliefs like rich people are not nice, and there's something virtuous about being poor, and there's more of a connection. I heard somebody recently saying, oh yeah, that person's filthy rich. I thought, it's associated filth and rich. It's like, no, yeah. Being rich is beautiful. It's amazing. And remembering that, money is completely neutral. It's whatever, we're the ones that project our beliefs onto it. So you get to choose if money is love, money is beautiful, money is there too, because without it, you can't get very far, right? Mother Teresa, she was great at raising, getting money, and it's important. You're not going to energetically move without that fuel, right? So if money mindset issues are holding you back, then I definitely recommend everyone to do some work around that. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's definitely very important to do some work around that. And we all need to learn and to hear this over and over again, because we were not taught to think of money this way that you are talking about. We were taught to think of money as something filthy, as that person said to you. But yeah. I believe not only money is our right, it's actually our duty to be rich.
I agree. Yeah. And there's another important point, Nina, actually, about that is money management. And this is something that for me, admin is boring for me, money management, but I really had to, take responsibility for that. And now inside my monthly coaching membership program, I go live every day at 11 a.m. and we do 15 minutes of money management. I did it because I was doing it with a client, and then thought, you know what, it's something that it's such a great exercise. So let's do it collectively. So I just go live, and there's a few things we do: gratitude practice and feeling into, manifestation, feeling into whatever our vision is. And the money management part it's just, it's because I was very irresponsible with my money as well. And you got to be careful about, and remember you got taxes to pay, and, put money aside. And so this was something that I had a gap, that I had to take responsibility for and work on. So I think that side of things is really important as well. Knowing how much you're spending, knowing how much money is in your account, knowing how much money you owe, even if you're in debt, knowing exactly how much, and making a plan for repayment, etc. That's so important.
So again, awareness is key here, even in money management. So now, with your level of expertise and all the experience that you've gained and all the clients that you've helped, what would you do differently if you could go back in time at the beginning of your journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's an interesting question, actually, because the beginning of my journey is the first training I did, the first coaching session I did was in 2009 in October. I'll never forget it. I was traumatized. All I wanted to do was give advice, and I was told to just ask questions. But yeah, I've come a long way since then. But honestly, yeah, I've had a lot of ups and downs on my journey, but I'm not sure that I would change anything, to be honest, because maybe be more focused, but I just feel like it takes as long as it takes, and it's how we manage ourselves on the journey. Yeah, it's hard. I don't think I would change anything. I think I'm happy with my journey. I'm happy with the lessons, and I really trust that everything happens in divine right order. Just, I think what's most important is my response to whatever stress or challenges show up. That's what's most important for me. I guess what I would do differently, I made some investments that in hindsight, one in particular, and that was, if I could turn back time, I would not have made that investment, one or two. However, I learned from it. It was a hard lesson to learn, but this is, as an entrepreneur, we get hard knocks, and it's these are the moments that either make us or break us, really. And, you get to choose, is, okay, I'm going to double down and I'm going to, make this mistake count. There's really no mistakes, only learnings, I think. Yeah.
Well, I love that advice. Make every mistake
Mhm.
count. And
Yeah,
I guess the investments that we lose are investments in themselves because we learn a lot from that when we
totally.
don't invest the same thing over and over again in the same places.
Absolutely. I mean, my logic was, well, I'm glad I got this. It was an expensive lesson. But I mean, I thought, well, you know what? When I'm a millionaire, I have the lesson now, so I won't like blow a million on something,
Yeah,
because I have this lesson now. So it's about perspective, Nina, isn't it? It's how you look at it, how you choose to frame it. And we're blessed with that, the freedom of choice, how we choose to frame something.
absolutely. That's a great reminder that we always have a choice.
Yeah.
Um, so let me ask you another question. What do you think are the main mistakes that you see most of your clients making now?
Yeah. I think a common one is, why isn't it happening yet?
Mhm.
And which I totally get, I've been there. And but it's like, you know, I've been showing up, I've been doing what you said, and I'm still, the clients aren't on my doorstep. But it's like, you gotta, it really does. It requires persistence. It requires staying the course. It requires course correcting. It requires getting really clear about your messaging, your positioning, really, targeting that client that you want to work with, letting go of fears, etc. There's a lot, it's a beautiful profession, and it ain't for sissies. That's what I say sometimes. So it's like, and I guess one mistake would be, and I've done this too, it's not working, so changing. Oh, well, that doesn't work, so I'm going to do this new thing, this new great thing. And that rarely works. It's staying the course with what you've got and tweaking it, and just getting good advice as well, I think, and checking what the market wants and needs, not deciding what you think they need, but really, just some good business strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important, definitely. I've heard the saying a few years ago that I love, especially for entrepreneurs. It's really, really important to know this, that there's a season for sowing and a season for reaping, but you never do both in the same season. So you have
Beautiful.
to be patient. As long as you're following good advice, as you said, that's
Yeah.
important. You're not just trying a million strategies a month
Mhm.
and then wondering why you still haven't seen any growth. You have to
Yeah.
like let yourself relax, let it go, and just give it time, but keep up the good.
Yeah.
And
It's true. It's part of the journey. I think, we gotta earn our stripes, I think. And
yeah,
I think most really successful entrepreneurs, they've had failures, they've had challenges, they've had, a long time when nobody was watching. And it's just an important part of the journey. I think also what's very important as well is, for me, the type of client I want to work with and how I see myself is, mission driven. So
mhm,
it's not something I'm trying out. It's like, no, I feel deeply passionate about helping people, especially women, to transform and to feel better in their lives, to feel fired up. And my main message would be, it doesn't have to be that way. It can be so much better. And I'm going to help you to get to there. And so I really do feel like it's a mission, not just something that I'm a hobby or something I'm trying out. You got to go all in and be really committed and connected to that mission.
absolutely. Because once you've found your purpose, it's your duty to express yourself and do your best, express your full potential and keep growing because your business is part of yourself.
Yes.
You're growing with your business and you're helping people grow as well. So,
Totally.
tell us more about your main program right now.
So I would say my main program, probably my new program, which is my membership program.
Mhm.
I'm really excited about that because I'm a huge believer in discipline. Success is a habit. So whatever our habits are, that's, going to reflect our future reality. So what I love about my membership program is that daily discipline where we together meet and do the daily mindset work, the daily gratitude work, the daily money management, even decluttering is part of it as well, and feeling into the vision, the manifestation. So doing that every weekday. Plus, all the great personal growth content in there, and and a group coaching call. So that would be, but then my higher level program is advanced coaching skills, advanced manifestation skills, and that's for somebody who wants to certify and to go deeper into coaching. So yeah, I wouldn't say that one is the main one or the other one. It really depends on where the person is at. When the membership program is obviously it's a much lower investment and than the Fired Up Coaching Academy. And then the one-to-one work, my Woman on Fire is my one-to-one coaching. And that, of course, is a higher investment again, but you'll get there faster, it's paying for speed and paying for proximity, right? The one-to-one coaching. Yeah.
It's already giving firing energy. I love that. I love the
Yeah,
concept.
there's a story behind that, actually, Niamh. I worked with a business coach and was advised to, and to niche in a particular area. And I just wasn't feeling it. And she was saying, no, that's it. That's, and I could understand it for, from a business strategy point of view, it was a good niche. But I just wasn't able to get 100% behind it. And I was like, okay. And she was saying, no, just stick it out. And I was finding it really hard because my heart wasn't completely in it. And I woke up one morning and I thought, I just want to help women to feel fired up about their lives. That was it. It's like, and maybe it's not specific enough, but that's the main thing. I want them to feel fired up about their lives. So yeah, that's where it came from.
I love that image. So how can people connect with you and find you online?
Facebook is the best place. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn, but I'm most active on Facebook. So it's Niamh Dee. I'm not the only Niamh Dee in the world, believe it or not. My name is spelled Niamh. It's an Irish name, pronounced Niamh. But yeah, I think Facebook is.
I'll make sure I'll put all your details for our listeners in the episode's description, so it's easier to connect with you. And to finish, what would be one main piece of advice that you want every entrepreneur out there to have?
I like that question. I would say very easy. Go for it. You've only got one life, and just whatever is on your heart, just go for it. Don't worry too much about what other people think, because they will fall away as you up level. Then and you'll be proud of yourself. You feel really good about yourself to take that leap. And regret is a very hard pill to swallow. It's painful to stretch outside of our comfort zone, but regret and stuckness is a lot more painful. Go for it.
Oh my God, I love that advice. Yeah. Thank you so much, Niamh, for being an amazing
You're welcome, Nina. Thank you so much.
It was really, really a pleasure having you on this episode of the Success Catalyst. Thank you, and thank you to all our listeners. We will see you again in the next episode.
Bye.